Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game not to lose. And this is gonna be even quicker. But mastering the money game is so important, right? Mastering the money game is so important. Like literally, I mean, if you are trying to win, if you're trying to play this game not to lose, you're going to consistently lose. You get what you focus on. If you're focusing on losing, you're gonna lose. It's just gonna happen. But if you focus on winning, it's like this. I mean, the opposite of win is lose, right? But you can't say, well, if I play the game to lose, if I play a game not to lose, doesn't that mean I'm playing it to win? No, you're actually playing it to actively not lose. You're just trying to, it's like swimming for me. Swimming for me is like swimming trying to not die. That's what swimming for me is. Come back this way, camera. That's what swimming for me is. Me trying to not die versus other people, they're trying to swim to get to the other side or to have fun. I don't know what people swim for. It doesn't make sense to me to even be swimming in the first place, right? But why do the rich people get richer and the poor people seem to stay the same? And it's because simply poor people are only playing a game not to lose. And that's it. And so I want to talk a little bit about some of the big things I want to cover in this topic, right? The rich mindset and what different strategies are they doing to play the game to become rich, right? To win. What is the poor mindset as well? And how do you adopt the rich mindset if you do have a poor mindset? All right. So first, the money game. The money game is how you make decisions and what strategies you set in place to be able to take care of your finances, your financial situation overall, right? And again, you can apply the money game to the success game, to the wealth game, to the value game, to the life game, whatever it is. But this is the strategies and decisions that people make with their finances. Even if it's the success game, it's the strategies and decisions that people make for their success. Even if it's the life game, for the life, right? You can apply whatever. I like to so you get a really nice check back from your tax return, and for whatever reason, you're just like, I don't wanna lose this money. So, instead of investing it somewhere that's going to do you justice, you just hold on to it and hope that you don't, right? Like hope that you don't spend all of it or whatever the case is, right? You can put that money somewhere. So anyway, let's talk about the rich mindset, right? So rich people, they take risks, right? They take risks. I don't know if I might stop there. Well, they take risks and invest. So like they're more willing to actually take calculated and educated risks, right? Calculated and educated risks and invest in actual opportunities, right? They are much more okay with that, right? They've been in positions before where they can actually sit there, calculate the risk, think about the volatility, and actually go through, how safe are they? Other accounts, things like that. A poor mindset, they have a fear of loss, right? They're not going to take those risks because they don't want to even the idea of potentially getting a lot of money back or investing into something and getting much more back in return. That's really awesome. But like, I might lose out on a lot of things along the journey. It's like in the financial services industry, in my business, and ultimately, you're putting in a huge investment of your time up front, so that way later on you can have a lot much better return, rate of return on your investment. Like you're going to get much more time back later on. You're going to have much more money, but up front it takes just a lot of time. Not really money, but it takes a lot of time, right? That rich mindset people, they're going to take some of those calculated and educated risks and invest into those opportunities versus the poor mindset that won't. All right, the rich mindset, they're long-term focused. They have a long-term vision. right? They have a vision that's, again, broken down to those missions and goals, but building up wealth over time instead of immediate gains is what their vision is. They're not looking towards what's going to give them the most pleasure right now. They have a vision that they're looking out towards versus the poor mindset. They have just really a short-term focus, right? Where they need immediate satisfaction. They need immediate survival, right? And so instead of thinking about the long term, they're oftentimes neglecting that long-term financial planning piece, right? That and not even all the time do they do it on purpose. A lot of times they just don't know of any other options out there. And so because they don't know any other options, the only option is to think short term. Right now, the rich mindset, they're going to actually leverage and use resources, right? They're going to go out there and find wealthy resources. They're going to find different people to talk to. They're going to find different ways to acquire knowledge. They're going to find different resources for money and actually take all of it to their advantage. This is another reason why people think that a lot of rich people are scammers or are not just, or like they don't have really good values. But it's just that they leverage the resources that they have. Especially if they find a strength of theirs, they're going to use that over and over and over to continue to just reproduce wealth and success, right? Versus the poor mindset person, that they have limited resources and they use limited resources, right? And so because of that, they have what's called a scarcity mindset, where they feel like that there's not enough to go around, whether it's enough money, enough time, enough people to learn from. Like they have this limiting mindset, this scarcity mindset, which ultimately limits the opportunities to be able to grow wealth. Right? You're going to need other people in your team to help you grow people. You're going to need other resources to help you out. But staying where you are, not leveraging other resources that are free, right? That might take a little bit more time, a little bit more investment on your part, is going to keep you in that limited resource section and keep you in that poor mindset. And then the fourth piece, the rich mindset, they learn from their failures, right? They take responsibility for their failures. They see their failures as a lesson and as a stepping stone, not as a setback. They see it as something that's going to continue to push them into the future and push them towards their goals, because they accept and know that obstacles are going to be coming. It's not a setback for them if they have to slow down and go around it. It's just a learning lesson. It's a chance to learn, right? Versus the poor mindset person, they have this perception of failure. And because of that, they see it as mostly like a dead end, not really as a learning opportunity. They look forward, even when they start to get on a right path, they see an obstacle and they think, well, there's an obstacle, I can't do this. They don't push past the obstacles. They don't see past the obstacles. They don't have the vision past the obstacles, right? Even just knowing that there could be failure on the route is enough for them to be like, well, I don't want to deal with that, right? So they have this perception of failure when it comes to failure. They have this negative perception of failure when it comes to actually failing instead of actually learning lessons. So here's 4 ways to be able to start to adopt that rich mindset. First, I talked about it in the last episode. Your income, your success, your wealth is only going to grow to the extent that you do. So you need to start educating yourself. Like, becoming financially literate is extremely important, and continually learning is extremely important, right? If that is something that you're looking for, a place to go for free financial education, free financial literacy training, obviously, like that's one huge thing that I do. Feel very free to reach out to me in any medium at all. And I would love to just get the chance to talk to you about how money works, how money grows, and the rest of these kind of different strategies. But educate yourself. You need to find someone who's going to help you either read books, read articles, learn things that are going to help you to be able to grow your financial literacy, so that way you're making educated and calculated decisions. All right. Second, start small, but think big, right? Like, it's okay with starting with small little investments here and there, right? Like, it's all right. Like, if you are terrified of that risk, it's all right. It's okay. Invest a little bit here, invest a little bit of your time here, invest a little bit of money here. Maybe start by putting 1% of your check away into something else, right? Things like that. Start small and then ultimately gradually expand. Like, you should have a bigger thinking. Like, ultimately, you're going to be able to invest tens of thousands, now hundreds of thousands of dollars into your future, right? But right now, start small, but think big for the future, right? Build up a network for those resources. I mean, surround yourself with people that are like-minded of where you want to go, not of where you are currently, of where you want to go. Start to have mentors, reach out to people, connect with people of all different types of walks of life. That's going to allow you to start to build a network so that way you have more resources to be able to pull from of different people, how they think, how they speak, right? Even just being here is you building up your network, right? Even just you watching this podcast, watching this video later on, is you building up a network because now you have somebody else who's like-minded, who is where you want to get to, right? And then fourth strategy to adopt that rich mindset is to embrace failure. No successful people become successful without failure. Like, it's going to happen. It does not matter what the journey is. Even imagine you could say you had a perfect flight, right? You had a perfect flight. Everything was great. Everything went smooth. Everything was awesome. You might have had a little bit of turbulence here and there, right? The flight might have taken off a couple minutes late, but like you ultimately had a really great flight. But even the failures or even the rocky parts were just a little bit rocky, but your perception is not a failure. Your perception is of success and learning, right? So start to embrace failure. Start to see failures as a part of this journey that you're on to success, because it's going, like, you are going to fail on this journey. It's going to happen. And that's why I told you, when starting to build out your daily habits, when actually building out your daily habits, write down all of the obstacles that you could potentially come across while you're on this journey. You, at least now you're knowing, well, this can happen. And if this happens, I know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, at least you acknowledge that it's going to happen and you still took that journey anyway. All right. So, one huge actionable step for you guys that I want you guys to use is to write down 2 financial objectives that ultimately demonstrate your intention to create abundance. All right. Not mediocrity, not poverty. Like, write down 2 financial objectives. Oh, I want to be able to retire with taking out $100,000 a year, or, I want to find a career that is going to pay me, over $300,000 a year, right? Like, find or write down 2 objectives that are going to help show your intentions to be abundantly wealthy or have abundance overall, not poverty. And then what I want you to do is write play to win goals for your annual income and your net worth. So what you need to do is make sure that these goals are achievable with a realistic time frame. At the same time, though, remember to shoot for the stars. Like, actually go, like, dream as big as you possibly can, right? With those. All right. So write down 2 goals: what you want your annual income to be and what you want your net worth to be. All right. And then you can also make some other goals. But with that, really cool little piece that T. Harv says: go to an upscale restaurant and order a meal at market price without asking how much it costs. Why? Because it's going to put you in the mindset of being like, well, you know what? At least this was nice and I could taste and enjoy this market price meal, right? Don't pick like chicken, like go to like one of those seafood restaurants that says like the seafood platter is market price. Like, go there and take that and just order that. Even if funds are tight, even if your pockets are empty, pockets are dry, share it with somebody else. But like, do that and just like enjoy it for the moment. Like that, you can do that.